Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new Durst Workflow update webinar. My name is Johannes Sieberer and today I'm going to show you all the new features and improvements of the latest update 1.19.0. Before we're going to start, as always, some notes to this webinar. Please keep switching microphones off. If you have any questions, feel free and ask the questions in the Q&A function of Microsoft Teams. And after the webinar, I will take care of your questions. Then, if you're using the Microsoft Teams browser application, please switch to the desktop application, because if one of you guys is using the browser application, then the frame rate for all of us will drop immediately and the webinar has a poor quality. So please switch to the desktop app and continue watching. Thank you very much. Good. So, Workflow update 1.19.0. What you can expect from this webinar. First of all, a small overview of what's new with 1.19.0. Some general informations, and then the biggest point of today's webinar, the overview of the new user interface. As some of you maybe already know, we have a new user interface already since a few versions, but only for beta test users. But now we publish this for all of you guys. You can test it out, you can use it for production, and I'm going to show you the new interface. Then, what's also brand new is the new Quick Print. This replaces the all-beloved post-print job, every one of you knows. And yeah, it's also working a bit different, but yeah, got a lot of nice new features. So I'm going to show you that, of course, too. The next step, we have a new function. It's called Automators. Also here, some general improvements, how to set up, and also a small live presentation, how it's going to work. And last but not least, the Amazon transparency codes, some general informations, and yeah. Good. Then, what's new? First of all, as I already mentioned, the brand new user interface. As you can see here on the top, this is how it's going to look like. As you can see, there's already one new feature in the screenshots. We have now a dark mode for all of you. This was a very high requested feature. And now, yeah, we implemented it, but more to that after all the improvements we have with 1.19. Then we have more automation tools. We have the Amazon transparency support now. We have now, we enhanced our split page tool management. Then we have centralized notifications, more fix-ups, more check-in possibilities. Also now you're able to export and import your fix-up chains and templates. And then we have enhanced spot color management definition, so that we also have some adjustments there. So if you want to read more about this, because today we're going to focus on the new user interface, please check out the release notes. You have the link here. Also, if you download the Durst Workflow version from the extranet, you have also the release notes inside the zip folder. And yeah, I request to check it out. To the new user interface. I like to compare this with, if you remember, Microsoft Outlook updated the user interface in the past too, and compare our new how we're going to do it with Outlook. There is an old version still available. You can always switch to the old version if you prefer, and there is the new version available. With the new version, we have some small limitations, especially for setting up the printer and profiling. So if you want to profile and set up a new printer setup, then please go back to the old version, because this is not working right now in the new user interface. There are some technical reasons behind this, but just for you as an information, please always check the for this feature is the version 1. The full release of the version 2 user interface is with Durst Workflow 2.0. It's releasing in the next year, so then we switch completely. But until this, you can use both user interfaces. Good. I would say let's jump into the workflow. So Here, as you already can see in the login overview, we have here, it's already new. Let's log in. And here we go. Here we can see the new user interface. First of all, this, as you can see here, for every production job, you have now 3 blocks with informations. You have here, here, and here different blocks. And this you can personalize for all your needs. So, for example, if you want to change the display options here, you can check out if you want to see the printer, the substrate, and the color policy, the output template, or the external ID. If you don't want to see the external ID because you don't use it, you can remove it, and you can add, for example, the color correction which is used. Or you can add the shipping date, a comment, the channel configuration. As you can see here are multiple options what you can select. And this is a very nice feature because in the version 1, there was always this big line with multiple informations, what maybe most of you don't need for your production. And here you can personalize your overview of the Durst Workflow version of the Durst Workflow very easy. Then the next thing, this is also very nice and also new with the newest version. If you want to see, when I prepared the multi-page job, anywhere here. Here, the first one, sorry. If you want to see, if you have a multi-page job, how the page is going to look like in the multi-page job, you now have, if you click to the icon, small previews and information about every single page of your multi-page PDF. When you think back to the last version, you only had the long list of with the file names and dimensions. Now, finally, you have also a preview and everything nice collected together in this overview. Then, when we go back to the overview, we have no header anymore. The menu item is repositioned. As you can see here, there's no new edit send to printer button on top. You can find it now here. When you check here, you have a new add button, you have a edit button, a delete button, and so on. Overall, I have to say we cleaned up the whole user interface a bit because, yeah, over the last few years we packed a lot of new functions to the workflow, and the old user interface, in my opinion, was a bit overloaded. Now we clean it up a bit, and in my opinion, it looks way nicer and cleaner as before. Good. If you want to try it out, please go through the software, please go through the new user interface. I really recommend to do this because in approximately 1 year, we switched completely. Now is the time for you guys to prepare yourself for the switch. And yeah, we're looking forward for some feedback from you guys if you want. If you have any ideas or any feedback from the field or from your customers, or yeah, please don't be shy. Ask us and then come back to us with some feedback. Good. Then when we jump back to the presentation, let's go to the next step, the new quick print. The new quick print is now available to all users in the new UI. Previously, it was only for beta UI users in 1.18.2. Now it's available for everyone. Yeah, the old UI implementation remains unaffected. That means if you want to use the old force print or hot folder or whatever, you can use this still, no problem. Yeah, if you want to see all the details how it's going to work, you can take a look at the release notes. And now with 1.19.0, we have also the possibility to process print items as a bundle. And you can choose the print item name source during the check-in or normalization. Good. I would say enough from the basic information. Let's jump into the workflow and see how it's going to look like there. Now when we check out automations, we can see here we have now our quick print option. And this is the new quick print, and as you can see, this looks a bit different as the force print job in the previous user interface. Here on top, you have two main important steps. The first one is choose a file, just upload a file. And you can also use here this drop zone. I prepared, of course, a file all of you guys know, maybe from my previous webinars or trainings. Here is my leave-ink test file, and what you see immediately, we now finally have already during the upload a small preview in the Durst Workflow software. This is something I really like, because yeah, that was not possible in the user interface version 1, because you only had the name and the size and so on of your print file in the overview. Now you also have finally the preview. Also, if you open multiple files, for example, if you have multiple files, as you can see here, you also have your previews for multiple files here. Okay, first step done. Let's move forward to the second step. And here we can select our configuration, how we want to configure our file. So what should be the settings? And I prepared here 3 different settings, 2 for products and 1 for the standard check-in. I called it webinar check-in. And if you want to see, okay, what's inside this, or if you want to create a new production configuration, you can click here, add. Or if you want to edit an existing one, you have here the small pen, edit. Let's check what's inside here. So here I have 3 different main steps. The first one is check in the file and normalize it. Then I want to have a status check if the file got normalized. So normalized means it's prepared for sending to the printer. And there's the next step, which is called create production job and impose. One important note here, at the moment it's only possible to use this function if you are creating an impositioning during creating a production job. Without an imposition, it's still in development, it's in the pipeline, it's gonna release in the next versions. But for now, if you want to release a new quick print, you always have to select create production job and impose. I mean, you can set up the impose template like this. You just crop all sides of your sheet down to the file size, and yeah, then you're ready to go for a single page print. But yeah, just for you as an information, because now if you don't create an impose, you get an error during the quick print. Good. Then here we have, for the first step, some settings. I'm using the workflow minimal pre-flight setup. The upload name should be the motif name. I only want to pre-flight the first page only. Then the status check, please give me the feedback if the print item is normalized. Then that is a very cool feature of 1.19.0. Now we have notifications for our print file and our whole file processing. That means if the status got not reached, for example, if there's any issues with the file, if a font is not embedded or something like this, and we're not able to normalize the file for print ready state, we can get a notification. There are 2 options. We can send the notification to our workflow user, in this case to my user, or we can generate an email and send it to an email address. So that means if there is maybe an integration of an ERP system to the workflow, and the files are going through the check-in, and something is going wrong with the previous versions, you wasn't be able to see what was wrong with the print file and where it's stuck. Now you get immediately an email with all the details. You can also attach the pre-flight report into the email. And I think that's a very cool feature, especially if you're working with a lot of files. Now you get immediately notification. Take care of something, there's something wrong with the files. Good. We're going to stick here with the workflow user. So if you have an error, my user gets a notification. You can also select multiple workflow user here, so no problem. And I want to attach the pre-flight report if something is going wrong. For the next and last step, we can see here, yeah, create a production job in Pose. I prepared here something. So this is my name. So it should be the production job color palette, the substrate name, the production job, the date where it's going to be created and the time. Then here we have our output templates, what we also know from the for sprint job. Some additional information like production date, shipping date, and so on. And here the post parameters. So this is now my quick print automation. So it's a very like a small automation. And if you want to add some steps, for example, if you want to send the file to the printer, as you can see here are multiple steps available. When you send automatically the file to the printer, you just add this step to your quick print automation, and then you can apply. Now, there's one thing left. We can start it, start the quick print, and now the magic happens. Now, after a few seconds, you will see here on top, okay, something is in progress. Here the tachometer, as always. But if you want to see exactly where the print file is at the moment in the whole production line, or in the whole quick print automation, you can see here history quick prints. Then you can see, there's my print file. And at the moment, it's still in the check-in, and it's got normalized. So after a couple of seconds, it will jump into the status check, then into create production job. As you can see here, first thing is done. And then it goes step after step to the next production step. In the end, so I prepared something yesterday already. In the end, it's going to look like this. You have here your, okay, everything is red, everything is good. If you have any errors, like here, for example, I had something here in the status check. There was something wrong during the pre-flight. I got here user interaction required. And also I got the message here, the small bell on the top. Take care, this file, there is some issue. You have to check it out. Good. Yeah, this one is now processing. I would say we jump into the job I already prepared yesterday to save some time here. So because the result will be the same. So after this, it's going to look like this. Here also have an overview of the new file overview, how it's going to look like if you want to check your files. And then we have here the impose top. Okay, got it post, perfect. And now it's ready to send to printer. In this case, I didn't send it to the printer, but the job I uploaded now with the new quick print will get sent to the printer after the testing. Also, if you want to take a look at all your automation jobs, also from quick print and later on with the automators, you can check here in automation, the automation jobs, and then you can see all the jobs which got created in the past and how is the status and so on. So our job, the last step is still open, send to printer. If you want to see the state, you can just click on it, check it out. And then entry has been queued. It means, okay, the rendering is running. Also, when we check here the tachometer, we can see, okay, the rendering is running good. And then when everything is done, this will be green and the job is finished. And yes, you can configure this quick prints however you want. Yeah, here we go. Send to printer is successfully done. And if you want to configure a new one, as you can see here, just click here on the new button, and then you can start with the different steps. And there is also like a guide hidden into this whole production configuration. For example, you cannot click send to printer before you create a production job, so that wouldn't make sense, right? So, and you get instantly an error notification here. This is not possible. And then you can just drag and drop, move it to a different position, and then you're ready to go. Great, this is the new quick print. Then Automators. Automators got first introduced for beta users in 1.17.2 and now for all licensed users in 1.19.0. And now I'll give you a very important information. If you so every license from version 1.19.0 can be activated free of charge with the option of automation until the end of June 2025. That means if you don't have the automation option to this plugin, and if you want to try it out, please contact the sales partner or please contact us. We're gonna extend your license until June of 2025 for you as a test trial to try it out. Yeah, this is a very important information because every one of you guys should get the chance, I would say, the chance to try it out. So this is the possibility for this. And yeah, if you are interested into this, please contact your sales partner, or if you have your or you can also contact us. Great. Also here, we enable fully automated and customizable production processes. How it works, we will see in the next step directly in the software. And the quick print in the new user interface offers a first insight into the production automation. So the quick print is like a small product automator, so an automator light. With the automator itself, we have more possibilities to completely, fully automate your whole process. And how this is going to look like, again, we jump into the workflow software and check it out. When we take a look here at the automation overview, as the automation icon on the left side, we have here everything what is below this line is for the automator. And then we start now from production scheduler, because this is the first step what you're going to create when you create when you set up an automator. So this scheduler tells the automator, okay, what should trigger him and which file should get affected of the automator. I prepared two different products here. First beach flags, the second curtains. And when we take a look at this scheduler here, we can click here on edit. And then we can see here, okay, the naming of the scheduler, how often it triggers. So the cron expressions are now for every hour. You can do it also every minute, every second if you want, so but every hour is fine. And which production configuration should be used. So the production configuration is like this product, so this quick print configuration we did, so the automation configuration. So again, we have my webinar check-in, but also the beach flags what I prepared. So every hour, this scheduler is starting the production configuration beach flags. And then it's important to say to which files this should get applied to. And here we have two options. First, with articles. This would be used for if you are using with an integration from an ERP system and you get your files to the workflow automatically as an article, and then you can add this automation to an article or to a print item. So if you're working with production jobs, if you all just manually upload via hot folder or production jobs all your files, you can also attach this to print item. And then there is one thing, what's very important here now, we need to have one user-defined field, which tells us, okay, which type of product or which type of production configuration is needed. I configured here, I added a filter here as a user-defined field. Product, I prepared that already. And then this is the product beach flags. So every time when I get a print file to my article list, which the user-defined field with the tag beach flag, then this gets affected from this scheduler. Okay, this was the first step. The next step is the production configuration. And this is more or less exactly the same what we did right before in the quick print. So here we decide, here we tell the scheduler, okay, what is the production configuration and what settings should be used. And here now we check out my beach flags. edit. Here we can see now, okay, the name and the operations. So first, I want to do an impose, because before I create the production job from the articles, I want to bring some files together to an impositioning, and then we create the production job, and then we send it to the printer. Here we have some, for the impose, we have some settings, like, okay, we should optimize it. Then what should be the degree of utilization? You can also, if you want, create an impose with only one print item. So if you don't check this checkbox, we create a nesting with multiple items. If you check this checkbox, you only create a nesting with one. Here are the typical impose configurations with all the templates. So I set up everything before. Then the production job, and then send to printer. And then if you want to add some, an additional step, like what we have here, is prepare print item for shape nesting, then you can also put this here on before the impositioning, because yeah, if you want to create it automatically, what should be useful for beach flags, for example, you can put also this into your whole production configuration, then this step also gets checked and is out of the way. Good. For now, I just keep it like this. You can save this. And yeah, now our beach flag configuration is ready to go. So let's jump into the article overview and let's upload some articles. So now I also prepared some beach flag files here. So here we can see my 3 beach flag files. Also, if you're uploading multiple files like me right now, and you want to edit all of them, here you can use the small star in the front. Then you can see here the framing gets different. And then you are editing all 3 of them files. If you're clicking only one, you're only editing one file. The star is for all of them. And yeah, so the settings are okay for me right now, so there's nothing special. But here in the user-defined field, there's something special, because here I have to define my product. Now I have to type it in manually, but if you have an ERP integration, you get this information from the web shop or from the smart shop, and then you get this information automatically. Now for this demonstration, I have to beach flags. So that's right. Yeah, you have to type it in manually, but it's fine for me now. And also, if you're uploading a lot of files and you have to work with different importances, for example, normal jobs, or your customer paid for urgent quick print jobs or super urgent jobs, you can also set up an importance here. And then if you have nesting with a lot of multiple jobs, these jobs with the higher importance are in the first row for the nesting and got quicker through the whole process. Good. Then we can save this. Now we are uploading the articles. And this takes a couple of seconds. So now we get our articles here. Perfect. And now let's go to our scheduler and see if they changed something. So now go to automation, production scheduler. And now when we refresh here on top, sorry, we can see here, I know it's very small, but here you have always the amount of numbers of files which are uploaded, which are available to get affected from or processed from the scheduler. So here you have the number of files free, total number of copies to produce. And now we can wait until my scheduler will run. So that means in 1 hour, but I don't think we want to wait that long. So what we can do, we have here a small button which is execute the scheduler immediately. And when we click to this, the scheduler will start. Now we check here our automation jobs, and what we're going to see is we have here 3 beach flags, which are getting processed automatically. And this is how the automators are working. These are like scheduler, which are waiting in the background for new files. when they get new files, there are some configurations attached similar to the quick print. And if we get the file and the scheduler starts, then the files get processed. And yeah, this is the magic behind the automators. So my test workstation is not the fastest, to be honest. So I prepared already the jobs yesterday, how it's gonna look like. So it's gonna look like this. So here we have our 3 speech flags. Then they're looking fine. Then when we check the imposition, we have here our impositioning. It's also fine. Also the right output configuration. Everything good so far. And also here when we check the status, it got sent to the printer, so the whole process is done. Yes, so again, if you want to try this out and you don't have the automation plugin at the moment, the automator plugin, please contact your sales partner. Then you can also, we have also a manual for this, we have a documentation, and also if you need some, again, maybe an introduction, please contact us. Good. Then we jump to the last step of today's webinar, and this is an overview of the Amazon transparency code. So with the latest version 1.19.0, we enabled the possibility to add variable Amazon transparency codes using consecutive numbering. So how is here the whole process? So you are purchasing the Amazon transparency codes from your clients, so from the customer's clients. Then you get a database which you can now import into the Durst Workflow. So you can also, if you get your login from your clients, you can log in the Durst Workflow with your user and your password. Then you can download prepare or download the files from the transparency codes to the Durst Workflow, and you can place it inside the VDP editor. That is a very important, especially for packaging customers, a very, very important feature. If you are interested in that, and if you need this for your own business, please contact us. We will provide you a special training for this and a special introduction for this. Because it's a bit difficult to show this function in real life in a webinar, because you will see a lot of privacy dates with the login information and all that stuff in the workflow. So it's a bit tough to show this. But if you are interested in this, and if you want to use this for your business, please contact us, and we're gonna support you with all the information you need. Of course. One more information here. This is only available as an add-on for our VDP Plus customers. So if you want to purchase this, and if you want to start with this function, you need at first the VDP Plus package, and then you can add this add-on to your production. Great. I'll just jump into the workflow to show you where you can find all these settings. And so you can find the Amazon transparency codes already here. And here on top, you can add them. And then you have your client ID and your client secret. And then you get, can request your codes. Then you have, for example, if you purchased 1,000 codes, you can then request, for example, 100 codes for your next 100 files. And then you have it here, and then you can go into the VDP editor and place it. I know it's a very rough explanation, but if you're interested in that, please contact us. We're going to give you a detailed information of this, of course. Great. So this was the last step of today's webinar. I have to close this. If you, some of you guys maybe work a lot with the Durst Workflow, or you have to train during installations workflow. If you are interested in a new Durst Workflow training, because maybe yours is very long ago, or maybe you want to update all your knowledge with the new user interface, we are offering the new trainings with the new user interface in April, I guess, something like this. If you're interested in the new training with the new interface where I show you everything in detail, please sign up on the extranet when we publish our dates. And yeah, if you have some questions, please be sure to use the Q&A section. If there are no questions, I'll say thank you very much for your attention. And yeah, I hope you're gonna try it out. I hope you're gonna try out the new user interface. I'm looking forward for some feedback. And thank you very much. Have a nice rest of the day and see you the next time. Bye-bye.